are two of the most famous artists who ever lived. But while they were alive, hardly anyone knew who they were. They just painted because that's what they loved doing. This is Vincent Van Gogh, and this is Frida Kahlo. They never knew each other. They were born in very different times and places. Vincent van Gogh was born in the Netherlands in 1853. He didn't start learning to draw until he was 27, but then he fell in love with painting. Frida Kahlo was born in Mexico in 1907. When she was a young girl, she had a serious illness called polio, and afterwards she always walked with a limp. Other children were unkind to her because of that. She thought she'd become a doctor, but when she was 18, she was hurt in a bus crash. Afterwards, she had to spend a long time in bed getting better. Her mum bought her paints and canvas. She didn't have much to draw, so she looked in a mirror and painted herself. Vincent van Gogh didn't have any money. He felt lonely and was often ill. But the longer he kept on painting, the more he felt it was all that mattered. He found his own particular way of painting. Sometimes he painted very simple things like a chair. But even then, the colours he used and the way he used his brush strokes made something that was bright and special. He often painted himself, but not because he wanted to. Lots of artists at that time paid someone to come into their studio and spend hours just standing still. That was called being a model. Van Gogh didn't have enough money to pay anyone to model, so instead he did self-portraits. When Frida Kahlo was just 20, she met Mexico's most famous artist. She wasn't shy and showed him her drawings. He told her she should carry on being an artist, but only paint what she really felt was important. So she did. Frida felt different to other people, and she thought that being herself was important. She didn't try to be like European painters. She filled her art with her love of the traditional Mexican way of life. And so, both artists found their own special way of making art. That didn't make things easy for them, because most people thought their pictures were a bit strange and didn't want to buy them. But when they died, their paintings were still around. And as time went on, more and more people started to see something special in their work. So, they became very famous. But they never knew